Rise and shine and give God glory, glory, children of the Lord. Okay. Oh, rise and shine, give God the glory, glory, rise and shine, give God the glory, glory, rise and shine and give God the glory, glory, children of the Lord. The animals they came in by twosies, animals they came in by twosies, elephants and kangaroos, it's children of the Lord. Rise and shine, so rise and shine, and give God the glory, glory, rise and shine, and give God the glory, glory, rise and shine, and give God the glory, glory, children. We're people. We're people. We're animals. We're animals. We're flowers. We're flowers. And birds in flight. I said we're people. We're people. We're animals. We're animals. We're flowers. We're flowers. In flight. All together now. And we're all a family under one sky. We're a family under one sky. Sing it again. We're all a family under one sky. We've got light skin, we've got dark skin, we've got straight hair and curly too. Let me hear you. We speak English, we speak Spanish. We're different, but we're the same. Okay, here we go. And we're all the family under one sky. We're a family under one sky. Will you do it with me? Even the big girls as well as the little kids. Love grows one by one, two by two, and four by four. Love rolls round in a circle and comes back and knocking at your front door. Oh, note by note we make a song, voice by voice we sing it, and choir by choir we fill up the world with music that we bring. Ready? Here we go. Love grows one by one, show me two by two, and four by four. Love grows around in a circle and comes back and knocking at your front door. The two travelers went to the center of town, and they called out, "If anyone in this town has a big black pot, we will make the most incredible soup you ever tasted." Out of curiosity, an old woman brought a huge black pot and set it down in the middle of the square. Gather round, everybody," they said, and everyone gathered round. As the two travelers put some water in that pot and built a fire underneath, and then everyone watched as one of the travelers reached down and picked up a stone out of the road and threw it into the pot. "This," he said, "is no ordinary stone, and this is no ordinary soup. We're making stone soup, we're making stone soup, we're making stone soup today. Hey, can you sing that with me? We're making stone soup, we're making stone soup, we're making stone soup today. Hey, and it will be nutritious, delicious, incredible, edible, but it would taste a little better if we had a few more ingredients to put in it." "Well," said a woman, "I've got some green beans." "Okay, go and bring it," said the travelers. "Anybody here got anything to put in the pot? Anybody got an idea? What could you give to put in the pot?" "Potatoes!" "Yes," they said, "potatoes. Bring some potatoes." A banana, they said. A little unusual, but I bet it'll taste good, they said.
Anybody got anything? What could you put in the pot? Carrots? Oh, they said carrots. Zanahorias. Perfecto. Yeah, bring the carrots. Anybody else got an idea? What did you put in the pot? Onions. Oh, cebollas. Delicious, they said. Bring what you got and put it in the pot. Oh, bring what you got and put it in the pot. Your part. Bring what you got and put it in the pot. Oh, bring what you got and put it in the pot. We're making stone soup. We're making stone soup. We're making stone soup today. Hey! Hot dogs, yeah, we could put some hot dogs in. ¿Qué se puede poner? Enchiladas, hey, they said, bring some enchiladas. How about you girls? What would you put? What's that? Barbacoa, okay, they said.
Chicken.
Chicken, oh, cauliflower, chicken. Anything else? Broccoli. Green beans, yes. Well, so everybody brought a little, but with everybody bringing a little, it soon became a lot. Before long, that bowl was filled to the brim with savory, sweet-smelling soup. Well, what are you waiting for, said the travelers. Go on home and get yourself a bowl and a spoon. Vayan a su casa y traigan una cuchara y un plato hondo. So everybody went home, and they brought a bowl and a spoon, and they tasted it, and when that first woman took a taste of that soup, try it with me. Wow, she said, these travelers make such a delicious soup out of an ordinary stone. An ordinary stone, they said, and a magic ingredient, sharing. And if anybody ever asks you the recipe to this soup, just sing them the words to the song.
Share it, share it with a friend. I said share it, oh yeah, share it. What you give me, get back again. Thank you for the fun you're missing. You hide it on a shelf. Why don't you share it? Share it, feel good about yourself. When you get a chocolate bar and you hide it in a drawer, and you don't share it with little sister,
no, it's
or the kid next door. Why, the next time that you pull it out, you know what you find there. A gooey gulp milk chocolate that's green and growing hair. So won't share it, share it with a friend. I said share it, what you give it, get back again. Thank you for the fun you miss when you hide it on a shelf. Why don't you share it, feel good about yourself.
Now I'm gonna tell that you hit me and kicked me, and I'm gonna tell that you punched me and bit me. But I won't tell Mama what I did to you. I'm just gonna tell on you.
give him a neck and a couple of legs. 1, 2. Give him a little body. And dog and his name was Blue. And dog and his name was Blue. And dog and his name was Blue. Extra $5, he's a good dog too. Here's your call. Here, Blue, you good dog, you. Can you sing that with me? Here, Blue, you good dog, you. Well, I shouldered my gun and I tooted my horn. Gonna catch a possum in the new round corn. Old Blue barked and went to see. He'd cornered a possum in a cinnamon tree. Here, Blue, you good dog, you. Here, Blue, you good dog, you. You know, old Daniel Boone had a dog and his name was Blue. He was a really, really good hunting dog. And one day Daniel was out hunting. They were running across a field. Out of the distance flew an arrow. It came so fast that when it hit old Blue, it split it right in two. The front half split away from the back half, just like that. Well, Daniel was always prepared. He had some super glue in his pocket. He grabbed that super glue, he slapped a little bit on the front end, he slapped a little bit on the back hand, and he held them together. Count to 5 with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue was all back together again. He blinked his eyes. He licked Daniel's cheek. He was all back together and barely lost a heartbeat. Now, the only problem was Daniel was in such a hurry that when he put them back together, he put the back end on upside down with his legs facing up and down. And you know, super glue, once it's stuck, you can't do anything about it. So that's the way Blue was for the rest of his days. And you might think that would be a problem, but it wasn't, because, see, Blue would run for a while on his front legs, and when he'd get winded, why, just flip right over on his back. So it didn't turn out so bad after all. I wish I was a mole in the ground. Sing it again. Oh, I wish I was a mole in the ground. Oh, you sing great. If I was a mole in the ground, I'd root that mountain down. And I wish I was a mole in the ground. It's always fun to see if we can make up a verse to this song. All you need is an animal and a place that that animal is. Maybe what it does. Who's got an idea for an animal? Okay?
A lion.
Ooh. How about if I was a lion in the den? What would I do? What would I do if I was a lion in the den?
Hunt for food. I'll bring the zebra in. Oh.
I what?
I bring a zebra in.
Bring a zebra in. Well, the lion's got to eat, and that rhymes. He's got a good sense of rhyme. Let's do that one. I say go with that one. I wish I was a lion in the den. Oh, I wish I was a lion in the den. If I was a lion in the den, I'd bring a zebra in. And I wish I was a lion in the den. Well, in the old days, when you got these big old holes in your blue jeans like he's got, and your mama said, no more wearing those blue jeans, she didn't just throw those blue jeans out. She took the blue jeans and she cut out squares and shapes out of the good part of the blue jeans. She did that with all the leftovers for the clothes, and then when she got a nice big pile, she'd say, it's time to make a patchwork quilt. And she'd sew those patches together and she'd make something new out of those old things. Now, here are the motions. I want you to put on a pair of glasses for your grandma, because you know our eyes get old. On my grandma's, and probably the first place you need a patch, it's right here, because you're sitting on it all the time. So for patch, I want you to kind of hit your bottom. Patchwork, and for quilt, I want you to pretend you've got a needle and you're sewing, okay? On my grandma's patchwork quilt, let me see it. Squares of corduroy and silk, then green Well, who likes riddles here? Seems like everybody likes riddles. And there's a song called the Riddle Song. But this isn't it. This is another song about riddles, and it's called The Devil's 9 Questions. And there's an old belief that the devil might meet you on the road, and he might ask you the questions. And if you can't answer them, he'll take you away. And so if you pay close attention, if he asks you these questions, you'll be covered. Oh, what is higher than the tree? Sing 99 and 90. And what is deeper than the sea? And the crow flies over the white oak tree. Well, heaven is higher than the tree. Sing 99 and 90. And hell is deeper than the sea. And the crow flies over the white oak tree. You have answered my questions 9. Sing 99 and 90. Now you're the Lord's, you're none of mine. And the crow flies over the white oak tree.
You've probably heard about fables, which teach a lesson. There's another kind of story that's sort of like that. We call it a wisdom tale. It's maybe not, doesn't say what the lesson is usually, but you can see what the lesson is. And I want to tell you a wisdom tale that comes from China. In this book, it's called The Empty Pot. And it's about a man who was the emperor. China used to be ruled by emperors. And this emperor was getting very old. He was going to die, and he didn't have any children, didn't have a son or a daughter to pass on being an emperor to. So he thought, well, how am I going to pick somebody who will be the next emperor? Who would be a good emperor? He thought, I don't know. And then he was sitting out in his garden one day, and he loved plants so much. He said to himself, he said, I know, I'll let the plants decide. And put out word that he wanted all the boys and girls in China who would like to be the next emperor to come to his palace and see him. He said to them, I'm going to give each of you a flower seed. And you take that flower seed home and do the best you can to grow a flower with that seed. Now, he said, you've got to use that flower seed so it'll be fair. There was one boy there whose name was Ping, and he just loved the garden. He was the best gardener. He put in that seed in some rich soil, and then he watered it, and he weeded it, and he came out every morning to see if he could see his plant peeking up out of the ground. So every morning he came, and every morning he saw the same thing. There was nothing growing. He changed the dirt out. He thought, maybe I don't have good enough dirt. And he got a bigger pot, but he got the same results. Nothing would grow. Well, the little boy was feeling really discouraged. He thought to himself, maybe I should get another seed. Well, what do you think? Should he get another seed? The emperor said to use that one. You think it'd be okay to kind of switch the seeds? No, he didn't think so either. He thought, well, he said to use that seed, and I've done my best, he said. I'll just have to take him this. Well, in about 3 months' time, it was time to go back to the emperor and show him what they had. When he got to the emperor's palace, all these boys and girls were arriving, and they had the most beautiful plants. There were flowers with red and yellow and orange and pink and magenta and purple flowers, beautiful flowers. And what that little boy had was an empty pot. An empty pot. He felt ashamed. He felt embarrassed. He saw all those boys and girls with beautiful flowers,
But he went and he just stood there, and in a little while the emperor came out to the courtyard where all the boys and girls and their parents were gathered. And you know, he looked out at all those beautiful flowers, and you'd think he would have been smiling, wouldn't you, to see such beautiful flowers? But he wasn't. He was frowning. Just like that. Until he saw that little boy with that empty pot. When he saw the little boy, he smiled. He went over to him. He said, "What happened? Why don't you have a flower in that pot?" The little boy explained. He said, I put in the seed, I put in good soil, I watered it, I weeded it, I did everything he could. He said, I tried my best, but nothing would grow. The emperor nodded his head. He put his arm around that little boy, and the two of them turned around and they faced everybody, and he said, "This will be the next emperor of China." You know what had happened? Anybody know why he did that? He said, "I don't know where the rest of you got your seeds." He said, "The seeds I gave you were boiled. None of them would grow," he said. "You must have all the rest of you gone and gotten another seed like I told you not to do." This is the only boy who followed instructions, who was honest and hardworking, and I'm sure he's going to make a fine emperor. And that little boy grew up to be a kind and just and very wise emperor. And that is the story of the empty pot. Now let me ask you a question. That's what's called a wisdom tale. What's the wisdom in that? What do you suppose that tale is trying to tell us? To be truthful. Sign for grow. A seed under the ground. Here's your hand. It's the surface. Comes up. Gonna make this garden grow. Turns into a flower, okay? Inch by inch and row by row. Gonna make this garden grow. Get yourself a hoe in your hand. All I need is a rake and hoe. Some more sign language. And a patch of fertile ground. What is that? Next part starts the same. Inch by inch and row by row. Get a big sack of seeds. Hold it up with this hand. Reach in with your other hand. Get a handful and scatter it out. Please bless these seeds I sow. Please warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Okay? Now let's see if you can do your part with me playing the guitar. You ready? Inch by inch and row by row, flower grow. Gonna make this garden go, rake and hoe. All I need is a rake and hoe and a patch of fertile ground. Well, Somos el barco means we are the boat, and the words to the chorus are Somos el barco, try that. Somos el barco, somos el mar. Somos el mar, we are the sea. Yo navego en ti, yo navego en ti, I sail in you, tú navegas en mí, you sail in me. And we sing it in Spanish and then in English. Here's the chorus. Somos el barco, somos el mar, somos el mar, yo navego en ti, yo navego en ti, tú navegas en mí, we are the boat, we are the boat, we are the sea, we are the sea, I sail in you, I sail in you, you sail in me.
if we could consider each other a neighbor, a sister, or brother, it could be a wonderful, wonderful world. It could be a wonderful world. Oh yes, it could be a wonderful world.
If each little kid could have fresh milk each day, if all working folks had enough time to pray, if each homeless still had a good place to stay, it could be a wonderful world. Oh yes, it could be a wonderful world.
If we could consider each other a neighbor, a sister, or brother, it could be a wonderful, wonderful world.